When I was going into my freshman year of high school, I had to make a decision if I was going to play field hockey or if I was going to cheer. And it seemed like the hardest decision in the world for me to make. One of my teachers, who was one of the field hockey coaches, was like, "Hey, did you make up your mind yet?" And I was like, "Nope, no idea." And she was like, "Okay, meet with me after school." So I go, I meet with her after school, and she looks at me and she goes, "What if you could do both?" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Have you ever met Kiowa?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Here's Kiowa's number." Gives me Kiowa's number. Kiowa was going into her senior year. She was the captain of the cheer team that year, and she played field hockey and cheer all 4 years because she didn't want to make the decision either. So I text her that night, and I'm like, "Hi, no, you don't know me, but please help me." And she's like, "It's hard. Like, it's not going to be easy. You're going to hate it sometimes. You're going to want to quit both teams, one and the other, whatever." And I'm like, "Oh God, what am I getting myself into? Like, maybe I don't want to do this." She's like, "You're doing it though." I'm like, "What?" This girl I've never even met before, she's like, "You're doing it and I'm going to help you." I'm like, "Okay." So I get both coaches okay, and the season starts, and it is insane. It's crazy. I'd go to field hockey 4 days a week, cheer 2 to 3 days a week, and Fridays were split. So if I had an away game on a Friday, I'm getting on that bus right after school, going to whatever town the game is in, and as soon as the game's over, I'm sprinting to my mom's car, changing for cheer, trying to eat as fast as I can while she drives me to whatever town the football game is in that night. And it was hard. It was, but I loved every minute of it. I loved the adrenaline. I loved just everything. Like, these were the two sports that I loved most in the entire world. And the girls on the field hockey team, they hated me. They did not like me. Like, I wasn't there half the time. I started. They wanted my spot. They were like, "Get her out of here." Like, wanted nothing to do with me, and they made it obvious. The cheer team, they were a little bit better, but they worked their butts off for 4 months, and then I'm coming in, and I'm like, "Hi, I know we have like a month left, but I'm gonna learn everything that you just learned basically in a month because I don't show up." Like, and it was hard. Like, parents made comments, other kids made comments like, "I'm crazy, I'm insane, like, why would I do this to myself?" I've heard it all, but I was doing what I loved and I didn't care. End of the year comes, Kiowa graduates, and I'm on my own. And I go on, I have the top scoring record for field hockey. I'm excelling in cheer. Like, it was the best of both worlds. It felt like I was living. And it was awesome. I didn't care who liked me and who didn't. Then end of the season comes, I become best friends with all of the cheer girls, and that year 2 to 3 of us were going to be named captain for our junior year because there was going to be no seniors. And the dinner comes, everyone's like, "Alyssa, you got it. Like, this is going to be you, it's going to be you, and it's going to be you." Like, there were 3 of us, and we all knew it was going to be us. They go, they announce the names. I don't get named. My 2 friends do. So I'm like, wow. Like, I don't even know what to do. I can't react. Everyone's looking at me, waiting for a reaction that I'm not going to give them. And I don't want to ruin it for my 2 best friends. So I just go home. And that night, my coach texts me and she's like, "Next year." Like, next year? What's going to change in a year that I'm not already doing? Like, I'm working so hard. And obviously, you don't see that. And I wanted to quit right then and there. And then I was like, no. COVID hit. I had a lot of time to think about it. I had a lot of time to do this and do that. And I was like, I'm doing both all over again. So I try out for both teams again, make both teams, everything's good. Then my friends decide, they're like, "Let's go on a weekend trip right before school starts for my birthday and 2 of my other friends' birthdays." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. Like, this is going to be so fun." And Cheer, she gives us the go ahead. She's like, "Have the time of your life. Like, school hasn't even started yet." I ask field hockey, and she's like, "You can't go." I'm like, "What? Like, I'm only missing 2 practices." She's like, "You can't go. You miss so much all season. You think you can just miss 2 days the second week of the season?" And I was like, "Well," and she's like, "I'll give you one day. You can go down late." I'm like, "But I don't want to go down late. I want to go on this trip with my friends. The past 2 years, I haven't done anything but cheer and field hockey. And I'm just trying to please everyone. And no one is happy with me, apparently." So finally, I'm like, I'm going to make myself happy for once. And I quit field hockey that day. and I went on the trip with my friends, and I had the time of my life. Then cheer, the next 2 years were the best seasons ever. We won our championship twice, and my senior year, I got a perfect attendance trophy because I was the only one that showed up every day, apparently. And I was named captain in the end, which I no longer cared about, but I was proud of myself. I was proud of myself for doing it, and I was proud of myself for quitting it because I made myself happy.